It's a beautiful day today, so we thought we would just have a bit of a break today. We've been sat in the studio for a couple of days and that's long enough for us. So we're going to go to Scarborough, and I thought it'd be great just to take a camera with me and see if there's anything worth taking. So unusually today, with it being so bright, I'm going to put 100 ASA filming, which I would not normally use. And I just thought I would take out this Rolly 35S. It's tiny and a great little street camera. So, opening it up, as you can see, it's really just the size of a roll of 35mm. It's unbelievably small, but the quality is fantastic. The lens quality, it's a Carl's Eye Sonar T lens, so I think that speaks for itself. So we just slot that in, lift that up, and put that into there, as far as it'll go. One thing we have to do is pull the lens out, because otherwise you can't cock the camera. So now it's cocked, we can now sort of load the film, as you can see. Close that back down and then just slot that in. And that's it really. Wind it on a few times. And that's it. It's loaded and ready to go. There is no light meter inside, so you have to take a light meter with you, which is no big deal for me. I take one anyway. But also, I don't know if you can see, you've got focus there, but there's actually no way of focusing when you're looking through the camera. So basically you've got to guess. So usually on a really bright day for 400 I can focus on 3, and if I'm on f16 I can go anything from 2 meters to infinity and it'll be in focus. So I tend to use the zone focusing system with this. So today I'm going to do a bit more longer shots really, I think, but you never know when you're out there. So that's your shutter speed and your aperture, and that's it. Dead simple, dead quiet, dead unobtrusive, tiny little camera, but lovely, lovely quality. Staircase, which is nice. Lady sat down there, so I'm going to try and covertly get a shot of those as well. Okay, I just got the lady in the red coat across there. Job's a good one. Okay, we're back from Scarborough, and I just thought I'd show you me unloading the film. I've probably, out of a 36 exposure, I've probably only shot somewhere in the region of about 24, 28, but I'm not too worried about that. It was one trip, so I'm ready to go really. So on this camera, first thing we do is we put that to R, we pull the lever out and rewind. You can hear it rewinding. There we go, and it's become really slack, so I know that's rewound properly. And then the next thing, very straightforward, we just open it there, and there's the roll of film exposed. Okay, so simple as really. I just wanted to tell you about another couple of things. Let me just put that down. Okay, so when I go in the darkroom, you can buy extractors from Ilford and various other companies to get rid of the base of the cartridge to get out the film. I just simply use some dead cheap small pliers. I grab it there when I go in the dark and then just pull it. The other thing, little tool I have on me all the time is this. It's a little Leatherman but it's for the scissors, and I use these every day. So when I get in there, I'm going to cut the film in an arc, and the reason I cut that in an arc is because it needs to then go into here, which is a spool, and it's so much easier. I mean, you do this in pitch black, okay, so once you've cut the arc, which is why this goes everywhere with me, okay, once you've cut that arc, you then feed the film just into those two lips there. Then when you feed it through, it hits these two ball bearings, and then from there, once it's gone beyond the ball bearings, you can then do that and it winds the film in. All that must be done in pitch black, okay? So what I'm going to do from there, then you'll put it into a spool. You'll put the spool into a, whatever that's called, a thingy, maybe, I don't know. Whoops. Bob it in there, bob that on, screw it on. This is your developing tank. Once that's tight, you can then turn the light on, and then I'll show you what we do from there. Okay, I just wanted to show you how this comes apart really. We're ready to process now. So when I'm in the pitch black, I'll just pull that off and then push the cassette out, okay? And then the film is obviously wrapped round there. That's the leader that I was talking about. So all I've done in the dark is you feel for the film, and then you just cut a sort of bit of a semicircle in there. It just makes it a little bit easier to thread into a spool, basically. And as I say, once you've got it over there, on a 36 roll, when you get it towards the end, it gets a bit stiff. But don't panic, keep going nice and steady away. The film is in the tank. Okay, if you want to have a look at what I'm using, I get everything set so I don't get confused. When you get to my age, sometimes you do get confused. So, I have a timer, which is crucial. Each film has a different time. So this is Ilford Delta 100, and you can check on my chart here, which is downloaded from Ilford. Ilford Delta 100 needs 8.5 minutes. So this is ID11, which comes in powdered form. Sometimes I use ID11, sometimes I use DDX, and various other things, depending on what I want from a film. This is a bit of street photography, done with the small 35 S Rolly, so it's just meant to be candid, so I don't need anything of overly high quality. I want something that's a bit more gritty, if that makes sense. So ID11 for me is perfect. So once we've developed for 8.5 minutes, I will agitate, which is that basically once every minute. I will also bang it down on the table hard. The reason why I do that is any bubbles that's caught in the spool or on the film, you can sometimes get problems with parts of the negative are not developed properly. So that is just really to get rid of any bubbles. Then we go to the stop, which is for 1 minute. I use it for 1 minute. It's just plain water. You can buy stop, but I just use plain water. It's good enough. And then from there we go to fix. I use Ilford High Pan Fix. So the developer develops the image onto the negative, the water stops the development process, and then the fix fixes the image onto the film, basically. I usually use the fix for about 3.5 minutes. It sort of guideline is 2.5 minutes. Sometimes it can come out a bit pinky negatives. If they're coming out slightly pink, it means you haven't developed them enough, but just each person will use it in a different way. So that's the whole process really. So I have a timer for everything, which is crucial. So here goes. I will see you on the other side. Okay, once the fixing process is up, I'm going to save this fix because I'm going to use it in printing. So once the fix is up, we empty the fix. Then it's straight in with the fairy liquid, just a few drops. Now I use this, you can use an anti-wetting agent or you can use fairy liquid. My preference is fairy liquid. I'm actually going to plug that in there and wash it for 15 to 20 minutes, but I just want to show you at this stage, if you want to have a look at the negatives, you can do. Okay, so there's the negative. There'll be no image on here. The images are somewhere right round here, so I'm not going to unwind it, but at this stage you can have a look at the negatives if you want. The film's been washed now for about 20 minutes, so we can turn the water off, get the pipe out of the way, get all the water out, and there's the film already washed. So first things first, let's get it out. Have we got any images on this whatsoever? Oh, here they come. Right, so I'm just going to squeegee. There we go. Get rid of any excess water. And then we're going to just dry it. So there's a weighted end that goes around the end with some lead in. And then it's just a question of hanging it there. Okay, so I'm going to give it 5 or 10 minutes, don't really need much more. And here are the finished negatives. All cooked.